So many study tubers write to-do lists on post-it notes, so I gave it a go. I got them from Wilco for £1, and they were actually really effective in keeping me productive. My year 12 exams are in July for maths, biology and chemistry, and we got told on 15th of June, yes, my birthday, that we'd have them. The next clip is of Suni talking about Howard Chipman and his horrific acts in the late 90s.
And again, it just shows how horrible this story is because he abused that trust that people have in doctors.
Yes, and the Coronavirus Act of 2020 has actually changed VOD recordation a little, but I hope history won't be repeated. Here I did some organics for chemistry, and I just ticked off everything mentioned from my post-it note. Then I did some maths on integral, coordinate geometry, pretty good topic, quite visual. If we were to rate maths topic, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Okay, now I get why study tubers use post-its. I ticked off the leftovers from Tuesday and wrote down Wednesday aspirations, but I started off with Sencaf and I did UCAT questions along with him. Yes, after more organics, I joined in a German speaking lesson with my German class. I took German AS and I just wanted to continue my German. While listening to some lo-fi hip-hop, I did some Cornell. I took those notes a while back and never wrote the questions on the left, which prompted an answer from the body of text. I love Thursdays. They're the middle of the week. Wednesday tries to be the middle of the week, but just can't, and I say this as you're watching me fail at writing with a pen. Admittedly, some of the things on the list I still haven't done, as I'm doing this voiceover. I use the Forest app, and I have been for years. You plant a tree or bush, and going on your phone would kill it, making you a tree killer. After more geometry, exponentials and log questions, I started editing this video. It was a chill first. The 44-page organic chemistry booklet was due on this day, Friday, and I don't think I've ever done so many practice questions in a week. The answers were released the following week, but I like knowing where I've gone wrong straight away in order to improve and not make the same mistakes again. So I just searched up every single question and found the mark scheme. This took so long, but now I've found even more resources for chemistry, which is awesome. Doing this plethora of questions helped me a lot in understanding organics, I'd say. Here's me doing and marking the very last question. The euphoria I felt when I finished that booklet was honestly unparalleled, so I rewarded myself with some of my birthday cake. Honestly, one of the best birthday cakes I've ever eaten. I also edited a little more and I practiced being ambidextrous. By the post-it note, you can see I didn't do much on Saturday. I've done a past paper, and I'm not really sure how to feel about it. Yeah, apart from the whole 2-hour maths paper I didn't really do much on Saturday. The clip you see here, is me marking the said paper. I wrote all my thoughts in the video, so you can read that, but a summary would be that I used the paper to reflect and act on my weaknesses in maths. Here's some food I made. It's some egg in a bread with a hole in it, and I quite like the cooking sounds, so I'll just take a seat. As the text says, I needed to feed myself. Apologies for no recent photos, but you can hear still Woozy creeping in now, which is great. Nice. I then went on the TL Maths website and went through the questions I got wrong in the paper I did yesterday.
Required. So marks in Y, we're going to get that cos theta being non-zero is a bit of a hint here, okay? What you're going to need to do is to divide everything through by cosine theta.
I have amazing maths teachers, and I have proudly adopted Mr. TL Maths as my third maths teacher because all of his videos are so incredibly helpful, and I filmed this clip to show what a mess of an answer I'd made of this trig function question when, as TL Maths pointed out, all I needed to do was look at the hint AQA gave in the actual question. Here, I just did some biology questions from my Google Sheet inspired by Dr. Abdal's method. I typed out these questions ages ago, but I just haven't done them yet, so I'm gonna do them today. I've written the date here in the dates column, and then I just get a scrap piece of paper and I write my answer. If it's something like a definition, then I might just do it in my head because it's a definition. But if it's something really long, for example, it's explain how products of carbohydrate and blah 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 blah, then I'll probably do that on paper. So how it works is I press on column B, and then column B is written in white, and there's the answers up there. I'm so glad that I stumbled upon Dr. Abdal's channel because without him then, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'd do. After that heartfelt realization, I did a biology paper and was ready to call it a week.